Listen, minute I got in the car, I was like, stressed. My tires had zero tread. I was afraid they could blow at any moment. But I had $0 to buy new ones.
Then you need Tire Agent. Tire Agent sends you new tires, and you don't have to lay out all the cash up front to get them.
I don't have to pay all the money for tires up front?
No. You choose a payment plan and apply online. Then Tire Agent sends you the name brand tires you want. It's that easy.
I don't know. I have bad credit, though.
Bad credit or no credit is no problem. We'll get you the tires you need now.
So, I got these great tires with a sweet payment plan from Tire Agent. Now I'm riding safe, smooth, and totally stress-free.
Don't have the cash for the tires you need? Go to TireAgent.com and get them. Plus, you could qualify for a prepaid Visa gift card of up to $100. Go to TireAgent.com. That's TireAgent.com today.
The rest of the story. In the history books, some of them anyway, it is a small but astonishing chapter entitled The Battle of Huntsville. For as the sun rose over Huntsville, Alabama, that morning in 1816, it revealed a picture of utter desolation. Of the 1,500 or so whose home this had been, only a handful remained. Downtown in the courthouse square, practically every window had been shot out. The courthouse had been the defenders' final fortress, and yet the scene as described belies the events preceding. Folks in Huntsville knew all about the Creek Indians. In the recent foray at Fort Mims, the Creeks had actually slaughtered hundreds of settlers. They were, those Creeks, a formidable foe. What if, the city folk wondered, what if the Creeks should descend upon their town? Well, one day a stranger came blazing into Huntsville on horseback, and he stopped breathless in the middle of the courthouse square. This latter-day Paul Revere remains a stranger, incidentally. To this day, nobody knows who he was. Back then and there, nobody cared. It was the news he related that attracted the huge and anxious crowd. News that an army of Creek Indians was headed that way. A band of those warriors had chased this man all the way to the edge of town, he declared. They were probably there right now, just south of Huntsville, waiting to strike. Well, you never saw a bunch of folks run so fast. Upon learning of the imminent threat, farmers left their tools in the fields and ran. Women left their food on the tables and ran. Old and young, slave and master, everybody took off in carriages, on horseback, on foot, heading north to the safety of Fayetteville.
Before Sarah discovered ChumbaCasino.com, she enjoyed chamomile tea.
Come on, big jackpot.
And being in PJs by 6.
Let's go.
The new fun Sarah often thinks about the old boring Sarah.
Yes.
And wonders if that Sarah ever really existed.
Chumba Casino has over 100 casino-style games. So join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Tennessee. Within an hour, more than 1,000 people had hit the Save Yourself trail, and more followed quickly behind them. Everybody just picked up and ran. Almost everybody. 2 families, refusing to relinquish what had been carved out of the wilderness, said goodbye to their friends and barricaded themselves inside the newly built courthouse and waited in fearful anticipation of the devastating Indian raid. They were vastly outnumbered, and they knew it, but they'd not give up their beloved town. Old Captain Wyatt took command of the defenders. As night fell, tensions rose. The most innocent-sounding animal noise could, after all, be an Indian signal. Captain Wyatt, observing the extreme anxiety of his troops, pulled out a whiskey bottle and passed that around, and then another. And then from the post at the window, the lookout cried out, "Indians!" And Captain Wyatt bellowed, "Fire, men, fire!" And from the courthouse windows into the streets below, they fired. And they reloaded and fired again. It was dark, so nobody got a good look at the Indians, but they fired and they reloaded and they fired, nevertheless, all night long until the dawn's early light. So listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight fight nobody much talks about in Huntsville, Alabama, not even today. For in 1816, the fleeing citizens of that town were almost all the way to Fayetteville, Tennessee, when they learned that the stranger who'd warned them about the impending massacre was joking. There was no hostile Indian within 100 miles, and all Captain Wyatt and his stalwart, slightly inebriated soldiers had succeeded in shooting to pieces was downtown Huntsville itself. And now you know the rest of the story.